Part 26. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 253. Shen Halen was naturally happy and spent the whole afternoon in the meeting. Chu Fei, the boss of Yuan, also participated in the meeting via video. Originally, the development of Yuan had reached a bottleneck. In the TT family, the three pillars were divided into their own studios. Wherever the project was, the team was there and the people were there. If there was no project, they would take a holiday and only show up in the company a few times a year. Originally, I was thinking about sending a guest to the observation room of a dating variety show, but she was unwilling to do so. She was afraid of making mistakes because she was too talkative. This is the disadvantage of artists. When they really grow up, it is difficult for them to listen to you. Later, Zhao Chunsheng simply used all actors and didn't bother about it. Facts have proved that it is right to hire actors. They are mature and steady, talk a lot, and pay less. In addition to the old-fashioned things, the meeting naturally revolved around Xiaoqing to talk about how to start work. After the album is released and the data comes out, it is time to take on a wave of top business. It seems that there is no need to worry about the first half of 2026. At least Xiaoqing is a bottom line. Shen Halen approached the desk and saw Xiaoqing I's average face, and asked, "Is the data not good?" "It's just so-so. The sales volume is only more than 600,000 in half an hour after it was launched." Xiaoqing I laughed out loud after he finished speaking, and then looked at Shen Halen. "Are you happy now?" Shen Halen was stunned for a moment, then came over, and when he confirmed that the number was really more than 600,000, he shook his head and sighed. "This is the value of the explosive product. It's only been half an hour. The album that you guys made on Penguin 4 years ago has only sold a little over 940,000 on all platforms so far. Outsiders may not understand this data. In the era of digital music, that is, the era that does not include the sales of physical records, there are only 3 female singers including girl groups with sales of more than 1 million on all platforms in the entire domestic entertainment industry. Why is it said on the internet that Xiaoqing I is the last glory of the Chinese girl group? It's because the album sales during her girl group period were the highest, which is more than 940,000 as Shen Halen said. Logically speaking, it is possible to operate to 1 million, but it will cause backlash. Breaking this data means facing the torture of the entire industry and the pressure of face from other female singers. However, there is no need to worry about it this time. The popularity of the love variety show is enough to carry all the outrageous data. Shen Halen clicked on the comment area of the album. "Ha ha ha, as expected, things you don't know are also included. I came for Chen Go to help him pay his debts, ha ha ha. Some people are too much. Let's not talk about the UN trilogy here. King I baby, come on, go. Damn it, do you want Chen Go to die? You can't let him live in peace under the show." Ha ha ha, I laughed to death. Shen Halen felt that her forehead was full of black lines. She seemed to understand why Xiaoqing I was a little unhappy. A lot of people in the comment area said something about the UN trilogy. Busy in the afternoon, Shen Halen hasn't watched the finale yet, but she probably guessed it. I wanted to comfort them, but when the words came to my lips, I laughed again, ha ha. Don't pay attention to them, just give them money. Look, I refreshed and sold 700,000 copies. Xiaoqing rolled her eyes. She was definitely a little uncomfortable, but the benefit fell on her. What could she do? Dig up the past? That's too hypocritical. The more people play this kind of joke, the greater the sales. The mainstream now is the era of digital free, and it's amazing that people don't mind paying for it, not to mention the millions of sales, which is why not so many people make music. This mini album has a total of 6 songs, priced at 12 yuan, and it will soon exceed 10 million. Shen Halen stepped back and stood behind Xia King Ai, and slowly put her hand on her shoulder and kneaded it. Actually, it's a good thing. For Chen Shen, he doesn't owe Su Yuan anything. Xia King Ai was a little uncomfortable and stubborn, but Shen Halen didn't withdraw her hand. It was also because they had been getting closer and closer during this period, and even Chen Shen was talking to her about Chen Shen's affairs, or because he had made a breakthrough in his career. Under the overall situation, the relationship between Shen Halen and Shen Halen was getting better and better. What's the point of owing each other? Xia King Ai replied. Shen Halen just smiled. She remembered that when she asked the boss before, he said that the specific arrangement of Xia King Ai's work was definitely a top business. After this show was broadcast, the album sales would go up, and she would be the most powerful female idol in China. But what about the follow-up? Will she go to run variety shows? Or act? Or try to do concerts? In the current market, there are really not many concerts that can make money. The boss's attitude was a bit ambiguous. He hinted that he wanted to see Chen Shen. In other words, the boss was already paying attention to Chen Shen and took him very seriously. What's the point of owing money? From Xia King Ai's perspective, maybe she is in a general mood at this moment, and it is indeed meaningless, but it is a bit interesting for the company. Sister Lan, I want to start a live broadcast tomorrow, Xia King Ai suddenly said. Shen Halen was stunned for a moment, and then nodded immediately. Okay, this is a good thing. Do you need my cooperation? Xia King Ai shook his head. Just report to you, don't let someone come to you to make a small report, saying that I did something privately. Pfft, who dares? It was cloudy on Monday. If you look up, you can't see any blue. The weather is a bit cold, and there are down jackets on the street. At 10 o'clock in the morning, Joe Gaikin came out of the office leisurely with a folder in his hand. There is a meeting in the first week of 2026. Walking all the way to the conference room, everyone he met called Mr. Joe with a smile. It's hard for Joe Gaikin to be unhappy. The drama series is coming to an end. The so-called ugly brother is no longer important. Not so many people are still taking it seriously. He and Chen Shen reconciled on the show. The title Joe Brother has basically become a meme. Now some people on the internet say that Chen Shen came to Huanyu because of him. All the discussion slowly evolved into prestige, so much so that people in the company became a little more enthusiastic when they saw Joe Gaikin. Stepping into the conference room, Joe Gaikin was stunned. There were so many people there. Not only the boss Zhao Jingquan was there, but Zhao Ziyazai was also there. Chen Tianhui was naturally there. It was impossible for him to miss this occasion. However, Chase Haile and Ren Dongjun from the project department were also there. Joe Gaikin was a little confused. Wasn't Chase Haile filming in Hongdian? Already finished filming? After everyone arrived, Chen Tianhui briefly talked about what was going to be discussed today. It's nothing more than a summary of last year and a new beginning. It's just that Huanyu didn't have good results last year. The brocade clothes that Chase Haile built in the second half of the year are still in production. It is difficult to deliver the financial report for 2025. The most important thing for an entertainment company is artists and projects. Chen Tianhui first gave a summary of the artists. Yang Qingqing confirmed the termination of the contract, but because of some old feelings, he could cooperate with Huanyu to announce the news. The newly signed artists have already started working on projects. Li Ruqing gained a lot of popularity by relying on the Love variety show. Zhou Jianqing was sent to Mango TV to participate in a group variety show for male artists. Almost all old artists were in Jinyi's project. As for Chen Shen, Chen Tianhui's words were stuck here, and then he sighed, "Driver, please tell me. Chase Haile is actually not that old, but he is thin and has a beard. The key is that the beard is a little white, making him look like a thin old man. Chase Haile glanced at Zhao Jingquan and Zhao Ziyazai before saying, "What's wrong with Chen Shen? Wasn't the biggest achievement last year the signing of Chen Shen? What? It's become a taboo? So, is it time for me to review it now?" Chen Tianhui smiled and smoothed things over. "Director, it's not that serious. We just want to chat together and see if we can find a breakthrough." Chase Haile answered, "It's easy to find. Isn't Chen Shen the breakthrough point? With Chen Shen in the Jinyi project, it's hard not to make money, right?" "Old car," Zhao Jingquan called out from the host seat. Chase Haile leaned back on his chair and stopped talking. Chen Tianhui leaned towards Chase Haile. "Chase Haile, there are some things that the company has no choice but to do. Look over there. What's wrong with me? Didn't you send Chen Shen in? I changed the script and all the filming was based on Chen Shen. Now you tell me that the person can't come? What can I do?" While Chase Haile and Chen Tianhui were talking back and forth, Zhou Gaikan seemed to understand a little bit. He actually didn't know about this. No wonder someone in the company said that Jinyi's filming progress was slow. So, the slow progress of Jinyi's filming is because of Chen Shen? The director is still filming according to the script with Chen Shen present? Didn't that guy just go there for a few days, and the car guide couldn't forget him so much? This question was just a thought that came to Zhou Gaikan's mind, and then he smiled softly. It was so new to that guy. Ahem. Zhou Gaikan suddenly coughed twice, and everyone couldn't help but look over. There was a smile on Zhou Gaikan's face. Since the problem was already on Chen Shen, as a good friend of Chen Shen, I had to stand up and say a few words. If you can't solve these things, why can't I, old Zhou, solve them? Driver, Mr. Chen, I don't think there's any need to fight over this with one sentence. The audience focused their attention on him, and then Zhou Gaikan opened the folder in front of him and continued. Let me talk about some data first. As of 9 a.m., the advance on-demand sales data of Love Lesson on Penguin Video exceeded 130 million, which has set the highest record in the entire advance on-demand history and is still the refresh, including new paid members, advertising follow-up investment and content influence, has even affected the stock fluctuations of the entire Penguin Group. It is conservatively estimated that this wave can bring a value of at least 1 billion to Penguin Video. P.S. This data is not an exaggeration. When Kwangbiao was broadcast exclusively on iQIYI, iQIYI's stock rose by more than 500 million, which was still a US dollar. Of course, the core logic behind it is a direct reflection of iQIYI's content incubation. Furthermore, the sales of Xia King Ai's new album The Wind Rises released last night. As of 9 o'clock this morning, the total sales exceeded 1.5 million. In the digital music sector, it has reached the top of the domestic entertainment industry. The singer ranks third in the overall ranking, and will soon surpass the second place. Zhou Gaikan smiled and talked about all kinds of gorgeous data. What he didn't notice was that with each additional statistic, Zhao Jingquan's face darkened. The first data can only show that Chen Shen is important enough to Penguin Video. If Penguin Video met Chen Shen in private, they could completely bypass Huanyu and snatch Chen Shen. The liquidated damages in Chen Shen's contract are nothing to Penguin Video. Shit. Litigation. There is no one in China, but who gets the advantage in the lawsuit against Penguin Group. The second figure was obviously Huanyu's person, but the direct benefit was taken over by Yuan. Zhao Jingquan glanced at Zhao Ziyazai, who was sitting in the first place on the left. Zhao Ziyazai could only lower his head, not daring to look at his father. Chen Shen's popularity was unexpected. It was just a romance show. Why did it become so popular that it became a national drama? Who the hell would have thought of this? After Huanyu and Chen Shen had a falling out, Zhao Jingquan personally called Zhao Chunsheng, just to test Zhao Chunsheng's attitude and find out the truth about the love variety show. As a result, he kept talking about Xia King Ai, saying that he was under great pressure and could not take care of Chen Shen's editing. This perspective and this statement are very reasonable. He is the boss of Huanyu and Chen Shen is Huanyu's artist. Isn't calling him to fight for the interests of his own artist? He declined by saying that he had to take care of Yuan's face and could not ruin Xia Qing'ai, the female idol. Doesn't that mean he had to suppress Chen Shen's editing? Even if the love variety show is popular, can it be popular on Chen Shen? What was the result? Zhao Chunsheng did not lie. He really suppressed Chen Shen's editing, but he was suppressing the popularity. It was also very popular. When Zhao Jingquan saw the first hot search on Weibo yesterday, Entertainment Circle welcomes you Chen Shen, he almost had high blood pressure. Zhou Gaikan had already fallen into his own rhythm, so he didn't care about his boss's expression. Then our Huanyu stock hit the daily limit half an hour ago. I also took a look at Yuan's stock, which also rose slightly. I'm not saying this to say anything for Chen Shen, but I think that harmony brings wealth. The value that this love show can create is beyond our imagination. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 254. Zhou Gaikan not only didn't notice Zhao Jingquan's expression, but also Zhao Ziyazai's expression, which was really bitter. Why? Because in order to boost Huanyu's stock, Zhao Ziyazai collected 2 waves of scattered tickets in Huanyu's stock market, which almost exhausted all the money Zhao Ziyazai could control. Combined with some stocks that could be operated, Huanyu had already made a lot of money after 2 daily limit ups. In other words, Zhao Ziyazai had cashed out and left before the finale of the love variety show. According to his calculations, the finale of the love variety show that the whole network was not optimistic about was broadcast. As long as he started to suppress Chen Shen, Huanyu's stock would plunge, so he would cash out as much as he could before that. In this way, even if Huanyu's stock would fall, he had already made a lot of money. But who knew that the finale of the love variety show would be like this, with the stock price rising to the daily limit as soon as the market opened, which means that countless people still wanted to enter Huanyu's stock market, and the momentum was very strong. Good news, he cashed out smoothly and earned enough price difference. Bad news, he sold it too early. Cash out again? The reduction of holdings by major shareholders needs to be made public, so isn't that telling everyone that there is a problem with Huanyu? Shareholders are too enthusiastic, and Chen Shen's ability is constantly being refreshed. Just like that hot search, being a scumbag is just Chen Shen's most inconspicuous characteristic. He is also sensible. In order for the love variety show to be successfully launched, he has dealt with everyone. Not only is he sensible, but he is also talented. The 4 songs describe this hit love variety show vividly. Originally thought it was a story of wolves and wolves, but it turned out to be a story of a scumbag. I thought it was a story of a scumbag, but it turned out to be a story of Cinderella. Now there is a hot search hanging on the hot search list, 2025 Su Yuan, you are so lucky. If you click on this hot search, you will find that a bunch of girls are envious and analyzing it in various ways. Su Yuan is just an office white-collar worker. She is facing gold medal investors with big capital, daughters with a market value of tens of billions, and top female idols in the domestic entertainment industry. Chen Shen forced the show to focus on Su Yuan. Some big VS talked about this matter and it has risen to the height of philosophy. Chen Shen found the only possibility among countless impossibilities, achieved a reversal for all members, and relieved the audience's high blood pressure. In other words, no matter the face or the inside, there is no loser in the love variety show. Of course, some people who have begun to like Chen Shen think that Chen Shen himself is the only loser. Zhou Gaikan put down the folder in his hand, and he smiled inexplicably. At the beginning of the love variety show, he hated Chen Shen so much, but now he is helping him to show off in front of the company's senior management. However, it is an honor. I'm not saying this to show off. Although I'm also involved in this love show, I don't care about these false names. I still say that harmony brings wealth. I definitely stand on the company's side. I think we can sit down and talk. What conflict can compare to the interests of the company? Right. After Joe Gaikin finished speaking, he looked around and found that no one took the lead. Then he smiled again. Don't be so nervous, Chen Shen and I are good brothers. For the benefit of the company, I am willing to be a middleman. I'll make an appointment. Let's sit down and talk slowly. No fight, no acquaintance. If we talk about everything, maybe the relationship will be better? Don't you think so? But still no one took the lead. Chen Tianhui hurriedly blinked at Joe Gaikin. Mr. Joe is also for the good of the company. It's thoughtful. Joe Gaikin was confused. What's going on? Isn't what I said clear enough? Chen Shen indirectly or passively created more benefits than the artists like Huanyu combined. Can't you soften and apologize? Don't want any money? Che's Haile sighed. He didn't sigh that this conflict was doomed to be unresolved, but sighed at Zhao Jinkin's attitude. He was unwilling to lower his head even if it was too late. If you watch the love variety show seriously, or sincerely approach Chen Shen, he is actually very approachable. Huanyu's decline may have been doomed long ago. It's not just a problem of the overall environment, but also a bigger problem of internal problems. Che's Haile glanced at Joe Gaikin. This newly rising President Joe is actually not bad, but he just lacks vision. They didn't reconcile when they were bad before, how could they reconcile after they became popular? You yourself said that his value is more than 1 billion. Is Penguin really willing to put this golden egg in your Huanyu shack? Xiaoqing Ai has been in Penguin for 3 years, not to mention Chen Shen. At the two nodes, Zhao Ziyazai didn't handle it well, and Zhao Jingquan also maintained his arrogance as a so-called boss, and didn't solve it well. Missed is missed. Zhao Jinkin's expression was complicated, then slowly became firm, and finally looked at Chen Tianhui. Send a lawyer's letter. Chen Tianhui was stunned, then smiled bitterly. Mr. Zhao, is it necessary to do this? Zhao Jingquan was no longer indecisive, and whispered, why can't those who have already torn their faces give up, and why don't those who haven't torn their faces take the initiative to show goodwill? Besides, Huanyu's stock market can't withstand a bigger bubble. Chen Tianhui could only nod, okay. Joe Gaikin was confused, he felt that he didn't understand what these people were saying. Why did you give up? Why give up? Is your head filled with feces? I originally thought that the rich second generation like Zhao Ziyazai would not eat meat, and the boss is like this? Are the mainstays of Huanyu like this? The meeting ended, one after another stood up, and then slowly left. Che's Haile walked up to Joe Gaikin and patted Joe Gaikin on the shoulder. People like him can't accept personal heroism. Why is the tradition of joy that the old leads the new? Because he feels that the platform is always greater than the individual. Individuals will always serve the platform, this is our boss. Joe Gaikin sighed, still not understanding, even if he couldn't keep him, he still had to get into trouble like this. Che's Haile didn't continue talking. He saw that Joe Gaikin was not a bad person, or not complicated, so he said these few words to him. Zhao Jingquan feels that the platform is greater than the individual. It is difficult to say whether this concept is right or wrong, or in most cases he is right. Whether Chen Shen is that minority or not, Che's Haile cannot define. It will take time to verify. For Zhao Jingquan, a complete falling out is just a matter of choosing between Chen Shen and Penguin Video. Since they have broken up, they should strike preemptively. This is better than Chen Shen's initiative after getting online with Penguin Video. Doesn't Penguin want it? Then give it, not only give it, but also let you come as a savior, so that you can fight without blood. Is it reasonable to exchange for something? Of course, In order to portray you as a savior, I can always use my words, right? The popularity of love dramas is still high. Various so-called analysis experts have published articles and videos. Of course, they are not just praising it, but some people are also questioning it, saying that the entire romance drama is a script and there can be no such story. A bunch of people below scolded and gave examples. If they could hire this group of people for the script, how much would they have to pay? The blogger also said that only a few key people would be invited. People like Sumian and Su Mo could not be invited, but the rest could not be invited. Then there are endless arguments, lying to Sumian? Cheating Su Mo? Isn't that more exaggerated? More people are watching the results. The advance on-demand broadcast of Love Lesson was broadcast on the second day, and no one complained. In other words, this time the advance on-demand broadcast not only sold more, but also had a good reputation. This kind of thing is rare. After Chen Shen made the audience's blood pressure go down, too many viewers became loyal fans of Love Lesson. Every achievement they create seems to be an honor for them. When the weather is cool, it's especially easy to sleep during the afternoon nap. Chen Shen took a nap for more than an hour, and it was already 2 o'clock in the afternoon when he woke up. I washed my face and went into the study. He really admires Sister Mo now. It seems that he can't compare to her in terms of career. My sister went to other places, so Yazhou was completely left to Sister Mo. Sitting at his desk, Chen Shen turned on his computer. The core competitiveness in the entertainment industry still depends on his works. Whether it's a TV series or a movie, the timeline is too long. What about the transition period? The phone vibrated, and Chen Shen took it over, showing Xiaoqing Ai's WeChat message. "Where are you?" Chen Shen smiled and typed back, "What? Miss me? Shit, I'm just afraid something will happen to you, okay? You're not happy, are you? What's the meaning? They sent you a lawyer's letter, saying that you are acting like a big name. Huan Yu has given up on his own projects, and you don't even look at the various top resources connected to you. All the senior people in the industry turned to Huan Yu company when they came to you, and you also know, I didn't tell the company about the additional business with Penguin Video. I also begged everyone not to buy Huan Yu's stock. They said that Huan Yu's stock market couldn't withstand the torment. They had no choice but to make this decision and had to send a serious lawyer's letter." Illustrate. Chen Shen was stunned and clicked on Weibo. The joyful official media immediately jumped out. The content of the lawyer's letter was very different from what Xiaoqing Ai said. Chen Shen was amused, the work of big companies was different. The form is serious, the content is weak, and the reason why it has to be done is also stated. There was no holding back at all in this gesture. I told Sister Lan that they are studying this explanation and have countermeasures. I'll tell you, don't mess around. This circle is very mysterious. If you don't handle it well, it might become a crisis. Xiaoqing Ai is still sending messages. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 255. Huan Yu's lawyer's letter was sent at 2 p.m., and Xiaoqing Ai knew the news in less than 5 minutes. Yuan and Huan Yu have had a revolutionary friendship for so many years. People in their own company don't know about it, but everyone on the other side knows about it. Xiaoqing Ai only saw 2 words in the entire lawyer's letter, green tea. Not only did he start the fight, but he also pushed all the faults to the other party, and he looked like he didn't even want any benefits. Xiaoqing Ai not only asked Chen Shen, but also told Shen Hailan, asking Sister Lan to think of a solution. Sister Lan replied and said that she would communicate with Chen Shen about this matter, and then Xiaoqing Ai felt relieved. In the cloakroom, Xiaoqing Ai sat in front of the dressing table by the window. Her house was very big, and her cloakroom was not small either. It was converted from a small room. Big news. I just posted a video saying Huanyu might become the biggest winner and usher in a comeback, but Huanyu stabbed me in the back. Give me half an hour to study it, and then release the video immediately. Here it comes, brothers, absolutely first-hand information. After Chen Shen finished filming the Love variety show, he seamlessly signed with Huanyu and immediately took on several projects, including Huanyu's current S-level project Jinyi, and participated in the filming at Hongdian Film and Television City. It is said that he had a conflict with Pu Ben, the male second of Jinyi. There are traces of this matter. When Chen Shen was scolded as a scumbag by the whole network, Pu Ben liked 11 short essays complaining about Chen Shen in one night. It can be seen that he is really anxious. This news is absolutely authentic, because I found an extra who was filming in Hongdian at the time. He was from the Jinyi crew. I have already paid him for travel expenses. He will be at my house at 5:30 at the latest. Wait for me to tidy up a little and start a live broadcast for brothers at 8 o'clock. Xiaoqing Ai was scrolling through Douyin, and he laughed out loud while scrolling. After the news of the Love variety show attracted more attention, Douyin was full of various videos about Chen Shen. Some people only posted 3 or 4 minutes before they appeared in Xiaoqing Ai's Douyin. No wonder that guy is not worried at all, Xiaoqing Ai complained. Douyin is not like Weibo. Ordinary people don't have much say on Weibo. At most, they can rush others below. Once others' comments are closed, they will be ignored. Most of the attention is also on those who have weight. However, Douyin is different. There are tens of thousands of personal bloggers who make a living by Douyin. Some of them have built their accounts one by one, and some are great people from all walks of life. These people are not only smart, but also have connections and means. How do they feel when they see Huanyu's lawyer's letter? It's like a person who has been hungry for several days suddenly seeing someone giving out a free buffet. I was worried that there would be no material to continue to catch the traffic of the Love variety show after the end of the Love variety show. Wow, it came to my door. Then everyone started to show off their skills. Those who were not good at off-site analysis the lawyer's letter word by word, and those who were good at off-site began to look for insiders. Some people were already on the plane to Hongdian. For a short video blogger, an explosive topic is their life. Xiaoqing Ai was happy. She looked at Weibo and felt that it was a crisis for Chen Shen. What about Douyin? Instead, it felt like an opportunity for Chen Shen. She was worried about Chen Shen not because she felt that Chen Shen was incapable of handling this matter, but because she was afraid that Chen Shen did not understand this circle. Huanyu might have sent this mysterious lawyer's letter with some purpose, and it would be easy to suffer if he did not figure it out. Chen Shen did not pay attention to this matter at all. He sat in front of the computer and watched the drama leisurely. He had too much output and needed to find something to lubricate his brain. After watching for a while, he sent a message to Su Mo on his phone, "Sister Mo, have you withdrawn your money?" "Su Mo, your sister's money has been withdrawn, and she made more than 7 million. Chen Shen, what about yours?" "Su Mo, me? Why should I withdraw? I don't need the 18 million. Chen Shen, dot. Su Mo, he. Chen Shen sighed, "Damn, I am a big wall, and I can often be shown off by Sister Mo. Some people, even if you rely on time travel and rebirth, you can't reach their position. There is no mask incident in this world. Although it is 2026, Douyin has not yet had the version of Chen Shen in the previous life. The Douyin in the previous life was terrifying. Anything that went viral would be swarmed by a bunch of people. The kind of wooden horse played by children in a community became popular after being sung by a rapper. People from all over the country flocked to that community, and finally had to circle and queue up to sit. In addition to using his energy on Sister Mo and others, Chen Shen also used his energy on the audience. His attitude towards the audience is the attitude towards his son. No, it should be the attitude towards his grandson. The grandson, the grandson, the grandfather should not spoil his grandson to play. Just like the love variety show, even if this kind of big hit is finally whitewashed, Chen Shen will not open social media. For the grandson, the grandfather cannot be too rich. If the grandfather is too rich, they will have to divide the family property, but if the grandfather has no money, the grandson will have to support the grandfather. Just like the lawyer's letter from Huan Yu, Chen Shen looked at them as if they were idiots. After a look, the lawyer's letter was impeccable. Chen Shen couldn't do anything. He was afraid that everyone would buy Huan Yu's stocks and finally couldn't cover the shareholders' losses, so he could only resort to this last resort. But the popularity of love variety shows is the highest point. Now the national trend is to brag about themselves. Bloggers with millions of fans on Douyin have a lot of videos of love variety shows. As soon as they open their mouths, they say something like Chen Go is amazing and I really want to be Su Yuan, and then those videos are basically hits. These people have set a tone by praising themselves. You can't immediately make a video scolding yourself, right? There may be sabi among the bloggers with millions of followers, but it is impossible that all of them are sabi. The first thought of these people could only be whether they could speak for Chen Shen from an angle, and then use the flow pool they had raised to gain popularity. Originally, Chen Shen's signing of joy was a mysterious operation in their eyes. At this time, even if Chen Shen wanted to collapse his house, those people would try their best to protect Chen Shen. Gods are never heroes when they create gods. Those who create gods are heroes. If anyone stops them from creating gods and become heroes, then you are a bastard. Have you come into contact with people from Penguin? Shen Halen sent a message as the WeChat profile picture flashed. Chen Shen replied, no, Huan Yu fired my manager, who can find me? Shen Halen, ha ha ha, then you still haven't contacted me. Chen Shen, I've really thought about this issue. It's too far away. I still think Yuzhou is better. Shen Halen. Seeing Shen Halen's exclamation point, Chen Shen had a smile on his face. Can he hold it in? Shen Halen, don't tease me, I will take it seriously. Shen Halen probably understood the logic behind this matter. Chen Shen and Huan Yu had already fallen out, and it was destined that they would not be able to keep this person. He knew that he wanted to leave. Now that the stock price is soaring, who can bear it? From Shen Halen's perspective, it was almost a foregone conclusion that Chen Shen would go to Penguin. They were insiders and knew Chen Shen's value very well at this time. Let's put it this way, the entertainment industry has been tepid for more than 10 years. The group of people I watched at the beginning are still the same group of people now. The new generation is all a niche culture. For example, Xia King Ai, before she was on Love TV, she was a leader in her own circle. People who like girl groups think Xia King Ai is great, but those who don't like her have just heard of the name. Chen Shen is different. Nowadays, men, women and children all like him, or are impressed by him. The most intuitive thing is the group of people who discuss Chen Shen. They are not only big VS and bloggers, but also financial circles and certain company executives. Boss wait. Chen Shen said he didn't want to go to Pengcheng and wanted to stay in Yuzhou, but he couldn't stay in Huanyu, so where could he go? You knew you were teasing me. How could I think you were stupid? If you have the leisure to tease me, you might as well tease Qingyi. I'm convinced. Chen Shen, why am I teasing you? I'm sick and I have to go to Pengcheng. Shen Halen. Chen Shen, haha. Shen Halen, go to hell. After chatting with Shen Halen for a few words, Chen Shen opened Douyin. At around 4 o'clock, Someone had already started posting a video analyzing the lawyer's letter. Most of the content was unreasonable. Compared to the unfamiliar Huan Yu, Chen Shen, who was already somewhat familiar, seemed not to be the kind of person Huan Yu said he was. The drama can only be aired because of Chen Shen's coordination and coaxing everyone. Would such a person break the contract regardless of the project? Haven't met the seniors in the circle yet? Can you even ignore the reporting for reshooting business? So much so that he made Huan Yu so disgusted that he wanted to kill him. Is it Chen Shen who is outrageous, or are you joyful? Chen Shen scrolled down and was suddenly stunned because he saw Xiaoqing Ai. This girl actually started a live broadcast. Chen Shen clicked in, not afraid of anyone discovering him. His account number and name were all in the format of the user adding a string of numbers, and his avatar was still the initial avatar sent by the system. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 256. Xiaoqing Ai started her live broadcast at 4:30, and she simply applied some makeup cream. On Penguin Music, the new album has sold more than 1.8 million copies, and is now the second in total sales of digital music for female singers in the entire domestic entertainment industry. The first place is a female singer who came out of the peak talent show period of Mango TV, or a female singer who stood out during the peak period of the entire domestic entertainment talent show. Her name is Li Jing'ai, and she is still the finale singer of the New Year's Eve of major TV stations. The highest sales of her digital album is more than 2.4 million copies. If it were in the past, Xiaoqing Ai would definitely not rush for these false names, but now her mentality is different. If she doesn't dare to take the first place, how can she face Sister Mo? Outsiders have taken advantage of the popularity of the love variety show, so it's not too much for me, who has participated in it, to take a bite, right? As soon as the live broadcast started, people started to come to the live broadcast room immediately. Xiaoqing Ai. Oh my god, what kind of luck am I saw it as soon as I opened Douyin. King Bao. I'll go to the group to inform everyone, King Bao is live. Maybe it's been a long time since I last faced the audience in this way. Xiaoqing Ai was a little dazed, and even a little embarrassed. When she reacted, the number of people in the live broadcast room had reached several thousand, and it was still rising rapidly. I'm here, don't shout, it's me, don't send gifts, I'll see how to turn off the gifts. After thinking for a long time, Xiaoqing Ai finally found the option to turn off the gifts. When she looked at the screen again, the audience had exceeded 30,000, and the number of people was still increasing. Slow down, it's a bit hard to see, long time no see, yes, I'm the Xiaoqing Ai who participated in the love variety show, Chen Shen? Don't ask, I don't know him. The barrage laughed. Many people swiped Chen Shen, asking where Chen Shen was and why he didn't open a social media account. Then Xiaoqing Ai rolled her eyes and said she didn't know him. Ha ha ha, I knew it. Chen Shen, this bastard, knows that he owes a lot of debts. Follow me, don't be angry, Chen is indeed in trouble. In the end, he even has to coax ugly brother. What can he do? Woo, King Bao, don't be angry. We don't want men. Chen Shen is a scumbag. Yes, he is powerful, but he is a scumbag. Stay away from him as soon as possible. Don't be familiar with him in the future. We are beautiful alone. I am so angry, King Bao. You kissed him, but he still treated you like this. He has no conscience and only cares about Su Yuan. The barrage was dense. In addition to Xiaoqing Ai's own fans, there were also a large number of fans of love variety shows who rushed in at the first time. These people were very friendly when they saw Xiaoqing Ai, as if they were back to watching love variety shows. They were all laughing and laughing. Chen Shen seemed to have really offended Xiaoqing Ai. It's normal. Even a big star is a wolf. In the end, he became a background board for Su Yuan. People who like Chen Shen explained in the barrage, asking Xiaoqing Ai not to be angry, and talked about Chen Shen's difficulties from various angles. Some of the fans who like Xiaoqing Ai, who are irritable, have already started yelling, "Chen go, die." Just then, the sound of a cell phone vibrating rang out in the live broadcast room. Xiaoqing Ai then retracted his gaze from the bullet screen, picked up the phone and looked at it, frowned immediately, glanced at the live broadcast room and answered the call, then whispered, "What? I'm live broadcasting." Chen Shen's voice rang out from the phone, "I know, where are you? Can you send me the address?" Xiaoqing Ai glared, "Address? What are you going to do? Send me something." "Chen Shen, I'll broadcast with you." "Huh? You're going to broadcast with me? Are you sure? Are you okay?" The audience didn't hear the first sentence, but when Xiaoqing Ai said the address in the second sentence, the audience heard it, and then the bullet screen began to soar with question marks, and some people seemed to have telepathy and began to type exclamation marks. The third sentence, "You're going to broadcast with me," completely eliminated the suspense. Chengo. It must be Chengo. What do you mean? King Ai and Chengo in the same frame? Just one sentence makes me excited. No, Chengo, get out of here. This is going to explode, 100% headline. Dog, it seems that he was abandoned by Yuan, Yuan must have chosen Bubble, dead scumbag. Ha ha ha. Chen Shen came to his live broadcast room. Xiaoqing Ai thought Chen Shen was crazy. At this critical moment, broadcasting with him, wouldn't it be more stimulating to Huan Yu? Of course, it's not that he didn't want him to come, but instinctively felt that Chen Shen's coming might not be a good thing. Is this guy really not afraid of death? What's the situation with Sister Mo? Aren't you afraid that Sister Mo will be jealous? What Xiaoqing Ai can be sure of now is that Mian and Chen Shen are impossible. How can the other two, including Su Yuan, give up Chen Shen? He just broke up with Huan Yu publicly, and he came to find him? Sister Mo will ignore you when she gets angry, what will you do? Of course, Xiaoqing Ai herself was not afraid. She hoped that Su Mo would ignore Chen Shen. She was entangled with how strong Chen Shen's ambition was. He couldn't be influenced by her before he did anything big, right? Send me the address. If not, I will ask Sister Lan. It's just right for me to talk about Huan Yu in your live broadcast room. I don't have a social media account. How can you let me speak out? Will I be treated as a mute? Chen Shen urged on the phone. Okay, I'll send it. Xiaoqing Ai hung up the phone after saying that, and then sent the address to Chen Shen on WeChat. At this time, Xiaoqing Ai remembered that she was live broadcasting, and immediately looked up, then shrugged, "It doesn't matter, it's not something shameful. Chen Shen is not afraid, so what should I be afraid of? Not familiar." I really like the host's words, not familiar. Ha ha ha, you're laughing so hard, King Ai, you still dare to see Chen go, you're done. I didn't expect there would be a follow-up to Lianzone, I love you so much. Go, you scumbag, you can't handle Su Yuan, and now you come to our family. King Ai again, come here, if you have the ability, I will scold you to death. Ha ha ha, I started to touch up my makeup, Xiaoqing Ai, you really like Chen go. Xiaoqing Ai is indeed touching up her makeup. She was originally broadcasting in front of the dressing table. The cosmetics are nearby. It doesn't count as touching up her makeup. She may be a little angry after eating. There seems to be a pimple on her chin. Please cover the pimple during the live broadcast. Acne is reasonable, right? After covering the acne, my lips felt like there was no blood, just a light color, so I put on a little more lipstick. When Xia King I looked at the screen again, the barrage was full of unfamiliarity and question marks, and Xia Qing burst out laughing, being careless. In the hotel's underground parking lot, Chen Shen came out of the elevator. He saw Zhang Benrui, the driver assigned to him by Huan Yu, waiting at the elevator door. Zhang Benrui had a very good attitude and even bent down slightly when he saw Chen Shen. Chen Shen smiled and said, "Uncle Zhang, do you still care about this?" Zhang Benrui smiled and said nothing. Zhang Benrui rarely visited the company in the past 2 months. After Zhang Ying was fired, Zhang Benrui was depressed for a few days. He took the initiative to call Chen Shen. He felt that he could no longer provide Chen Shen with the company. "What's the help? Let Chen Shen find another driver." Chen Shen didn't give in and asked him to just be his driver safely. When he was not working, he would take it as a holiday. When he was working, he could arrive at any time. Chen Tianhui wouldn't even be stuck as a driver, so there was no conflict between him and Chen Tianhui, and there was even some friendship. The car was still the Mercedes-Benz that Huanyu had been equipped with, and it had been sitting in the hotel garage gathering dust. In the car, after Chen Shen said the address, Zhang Benrui smiled and nodded, and then didn't say a word. Xia King I not only sent Chen Shen the address, but also the temporary password to go upstairs, otherwise he would not be able to get in, and then concentrated on the live broadcast. The number of people in the live broadcast room increased rapidly. Within about 20 minutes of the broadcast, more than 400,000 people had already poured in. Don't argue, I'm not angry. We are all our own people. I just want to complain. Who would have known that I would call you and it would be so familiar? Really, Xia King I was trying to maintain peace in the barrage. Too many people. Xia King I knew that Lianzone was very popular, but she was still a little nervous in the face of this kind of heat. There are more than 400,000 people. In reality, some small counties only have this number. She has occasionally broadcast live broadcasts in the past. At its peak, it would exceed 100,000 people at some point, but it could not be maintained. Later, when I got it, it was only 20,000 to 30,000 yuan, and if it was bad, it was 4,000 to 5,000 yuan. The barrage was generally good, except that some of his fans seemed to dislike Chen Shen in particular, and some people who were making jokes said something about Su Yuan on the barrage, and then there were some quarrels. Don't worry about them. Some fans are too glass-hearted. King I, we treat you as fans. Don't want these glass-hearted fans. Seriously. Yes, you just think that we are helping Chen Go pay off his debts. If Chen Go is really as happy as they say? That guy is like a god and doesn't even have social media. When will Chen Go arrive? It's urgent. King I, you have to grow up. We can't be like the traditional fan circle. Some fans can't keep up, so we should optimize it. Brothers, let you be the #1 female idol in China. In just a short time, there were already 500,000 people, and Xia King I, a serious fan, only accounted for a small proportion. When there were too many barrages, his fans would no longer be able to see their comments. When Chen Shen arrived, Xia King I actually made up barrages to sell the album. Anyway, there were so many barrages that he couldn't understand them, so he made up random barrages and chatted about the album. As he was talking enthusiastically, his phone vibrated, and Chen Shen sent a message asking him to open the door. Xia King I got up and went out, and exclamation points started flying wildly on the barrage. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 257. As soon as Xia Qing opened the door, she probably hadn't seen Chen Shen for a long time, so she stared at Chen Shen several times. For people who don't go out much, winter comes quietly and wraps itself up in the blink of an eye. "Why are you laughing?" Chen Shen asked as he took off his shoes. Xiaoqing I also didn't have men's slippers at home, so she had to make do with a pair of simple light blue slippers. She also had big fluffy slippers, each of which looked like a white doll. "Laughing at your coat, it looks like an uncle's." Chen Shen lowered his head and glanced. The jacket with the windproof collar looked like a jacket, but it didn't look like an uncle. When he went out now, all he was thinking about was how to dress inconspicuously. If boys want to wear clothes that are inconspicuous, it is very simple, just buy them based on the word stain resistant. But the temperament is there, it's quite stylish, Xiaoqing I added immediately. Chen Shen smiled. Being able to praise himself proved that he was in a good mood, which was a good thing. Xiaoqing I's house has a river view. The simple decoration style occasionally has a little contrasting color, which is fresh and a little bit individual. Seeing Chen Shen starting to take off his coat, Xiaoqing's smile faded. "That's not what I meant. You can look good in whatever you wear." Chen Shen smiled and said, "Live broadcast with you, and it will be on the hot search tomorrow?" "You said Chen Shen put on a jacket and live broadcast with you." "I am not afraid of embarrassment anyway." Puff. As soon as he took off his coat, his figure seemed to be smaller than two. Xiaoqing pursed her lips, feeling that this was the right thing, and her youthful handsomeness suddenly appeared. After Xiaoqing was no longer on the screen, the barrage seemed a bit irritable. Especially when it doesn't show up in 3 to 5 minutes, there are a lot of question marks, a bunch of people yelling, "Why don't you just ignore the 100,000 plus?" About 7 or 8 minutes later, the sound of the door opening sounded, and then two figures appeared on the screen. Chen Dog. Damn it, he looks so handsome like this, he matches him perfectly. 8 minutes and 31 seconds. What are you doing? Treating us like outsiders. Are you following me? If I looked like this, I would be even worse than Chen Go. King Bao, why did you let him come? Xiaoqing I used a mobile phone to live broadcast, and Chen Shen said hello to the camera. The audience's perspective cannot see the specific number of people, only 100,000 plus. Judging from the host's account, there are already more than 600,000. Okay, Chen Shen patted his chest in front of the camera. Xiaoqing came up and asked doubtfully, "What's okay? There don't seem to be many people scolding me." Xiaoqing glared at Chen Shen. "It's really not much, but it becomes more when the two of them get closer." Exclamation marks and various warnings told Chen Shen to stay away from Xiaoqing II. Maybe it was because word spread about Xiaoqing II's broadcast that many of Xiaoqing II's fans came, and there was still a certain amount of collective barrages. When Xiaoqing glared at Chen Shen, she felt that Chen Shen was talking nonsense. "They didn't want to scold you, but if you insist on saying it, it would be weird if they didn't scold you. SHH, don't be rude. This is a guest. You guys, don't care too much about the ending of Lian Zone. There is really nothing you can do about it later. I didn't know what to do at the time. If I kept lying to brother according to my original idea, he is the one who will be scolded. We can't just consider it from our own point of view. UN is also a good friend. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just afraid that it won't end later. He must be thinking about how to end it with UN before he goes there. It's so close and so kind, it's the best ending to have this ending," Xiaoqing explained at the beginning. She said these words for her own fans. Almost all of her fan portraits are young people, and there are especially many female fans. Young people are the most willful. They rarely think about what is reasonable and unreasonable, and they only feel that their idols have suffered a loss. Another point is that after Lian Zone became popular, Xiaoqing II's Weibo was taken over by Lian Zone fans. Within a few days, the number of fans skyrocketed to millions. At first, they all yelled at Xia King Ai to play with Chen Shen. Feelings, but later reversed. This also means that Xia King Ai's own fans have been feeling aggrieved for a long time. In the past, Xia King Ai's comment section was filled with his own people, but later on, his own people did not dare to speak. If they are not as good as those group of love fans, it is just scolding. It can't be overcome at all. Now that I see Chen Shen appearing next to Xia King Ai, I have long wanted to take revenge. No matter what, don't get along with the scumbag, let him find his Su Yuan. King Bao, please wake up. We've been watching him for 2 months and we still don't know who he is. What a scumbag. Do you still remember the cake he drew for you, and he said he wanted you to have a good time? What happened? Now the whole internet is talking about Su Yuan. King Bao, you don't know the current situation. Many other people's fans are laughing at us, saying that you picked up Su Yuan's leftovers and kept them as treasures. We're so angry. No, you curse me when you put down your chopsticks? Your Xia King Ai's album sales have exceeded 2 million. Isn't that enough? Chen Shen has been watching the barrage, and he was mentally prepared when he arrived. Xia King Ai's fans would definitely not treat him well. The quarrel between fans is always inexplicable. Sometimes there is no conflict, but your idol suddenly suffers a loss or behaves inappropriately. Whether it is an artist of the same level or an artist involved, their fan circle, it is inevitable to laugh at each other. When Xia King Ai went to Dianzone, her identity was the same as Chen Shen, but in the end she became a little transparent. Not only was she no better than Chen Shen, but she was also used as a background by Su Yuan. For Xia King Ai's fans, it was very embarrassing. Xia King Ai wanted to say something else, but Chen Shen took the lead and smiled. It's okay to scold me and vent my anger. I'm already prepared to be scolded by the entire internet. This situation is much better than I imagined. Chen Shen said while looking at the screen, no, why are there still people praising me and comforting me? Are you serious? Ha ha ha, I won't open a social media account. It's unnecessary. I'm thin-skinned and it already takes up a lot of the show. It's cheap, forget about it under the show. I'm serious, if you really like romance dramas, or if one or two of you think I'm okay, just come to King Ai and watch it. If you want to know anything, just ask her. If you don't, for her to be fulfilled, the ending of the love drama must not be good looking. From the perspective of the show, she is very important. It was her initiative to sacrifice her own part to fulfill everyone. As soon as Chen Shen answered the call, the curse on the barrage became even more severe. However, you can't listen to this stuff and just start following the other person's logic. I scolded you 5, 6, 7, or 8 times, but you praised me, so should I still scold you? I know it's not easy to be a fan of King Ai. For her, it's actually difficult to balance her career and you. According to my understanding of artists, the best way to express my gratitude to you is to produce the best work. However, the starting point is too high. You understand, others may have struggled for 10 years before they achieved the popularity of King Ai's debut. So many companies and such large platforms spend such a high cost to create a draft, and it is impossible to say that you can be a C position to settle. Obviously, you also understand, this is what I said is particularly difficult for you. How can a C position in a super draft be so easy to get? It must have been obtained by exhausting all the talents of King Ai. Logically speaking, such a high-intensity stage output has exhausted all the accumulation. The follow-up is to it settled, otherwise I wouldn't be able to come up with something new for you, but I can't help myself. Of course, I'm not saying this to wash your brains and make you think it's not easy, but to acknowledge you. Without any follow-up accumulation, you always supported Qingyi in any project she took, and you were still fighting for her due interests, and even had conflicts with Yuan. How could people like you not? Isn't it cute? So, you see, I accept it and I really understand you. It's really not easy for you. Chen Shen finished speaking these words seriously. At first the barrage was saying don't listen, but this guy started again. However, everything Chen Shen said is true. It is indeed not easy for Xiaoqing Ai's fans. The more popular they are, the more attention they will receive. These people have had ups and downs over the years. They may have liked her a little bit at the beginning, but after a series of confrontations and questionings, it became the youth of these people. Even if Xiaoqing Ai didn't have any particularly eye-catching works after the draft, they still wouldn't leave her, and even felt that she was Yuan Media tricked Xiaoqing Ai and delayed Xiaoqing Ai's future. It was impossible for Chen Shen to extrapolate this group of people. From a good perspective towards Xiaoqing Ai, this group of people is much more important than Lian Zone fans. Anyone who understands or is experienced knows that Chen Shen is just brainwashing, but who has said these words to Xiaoqing Ai's fans? Xiaoqing Ai said it himself? Doesn't that mean that from the fans' standpoint, they think it's right for them to tear up Yuan? Doesn't this intensify the conflict? Yuan Media itself is being scolded by this group of people. It is a great tolerance to ignore it. How can it still consider it from the standpoint of Xiaoqing Ai's fans? Stop talking, you bastard. It's not easy, so don't worry about it. Don't get close to our King Ai. I knew this guy was trying to build a relationship, but I was still so moved. Shut up, you damn succubus. You are so kind. Don't mess with us, and don't mess with our King Ai. You know it's not easy for her, so please let her go. Bah. Not only do you draw cakes, but you also say nice things, so we won't be fooled. Damn it, Chen Go, you are so damn good at it. Damn it, even an outsider can't persuade me. The number one succubus in China is so terrifying. Not to mention Xiaoqing Ai's fans, Xiaoqing Ai himself was a little proud, and he didn't turn his head to prevent the camera from capturing his expression. These words can easily be used to make a fuss. Most people really don't dare to say it. Doesn't it mean that Yuan and Penguin Video are exploiting themselves and not allowing themselves to settle down? But Chen Shen said it in the live broadcast room. The number of people in the live broadcast room has already exceeded 500,000 to 600,000. Xiaoqing Ai and Chen Shen are in the same frame, and they are the most popular romance topic recently. The algorithm mechanism of Douyin is recommended, not to mention all the people who are using Douyin at this moment. As long as the system determines that you are interested in the popularity of romance dramas, it will almost all be pushed. Before Chen Shen finished speaking, the number of people in the live broadcast room was close to 1 million, and Douyin's data was not very impressive. Chen Shen looked at the barrage. Although he could still occasionally see one or two people scolding him, it was no longer harmful. Many Xiaoqing Ai's fans complained in the comment area, and then said they would not listen to the bastard chanting sutras. Actually, when I came today, I was not only prepared to be scolded by you, but I also brought you a small gift. I really think you are great. When I got to know King Ai, I really got to know you. I was very touched. Then I wrote a little something. Chen Shen's voice was very soft, and he looked at Xiaoqing Ai again. King Ai, you should have a guitar at home, right? Xiaoqing came to her senses. What? Chen Shen, I said guitar. Do you have a guitar at home? Xiaoqing Ai was still thinking about what Chen Shen said. She also knew that Chen Shen was helping her to consolidate her fans, just like she had spoken for him in front of his fans before. But that attitude was hard not to warm people's hearts. Yuan Media had never done these things. Xiaoqing Ai stretched out her hand and gently pinched Chen Shen's waist, then stood up to get him a guitar. Chen Shen glanced at Xiaoqing Ai, not daring to show any expression. You still have a trick. Brother, don't, I'm scared, the number of people has exceeded 1 million, you take it easy. New song? Is it a new song? Humph, I won't listen, even if you write it to the sky. Too late, damn scumbag, Sister MONUN both wrote on the show, their songs are classics, you treat them differently. I don't want to listen, I don't want to listen. I don't agree, I just don't agree. If you sing, I can't be soft-hearted, anyway, King Bao can't be with the scumbag, and you can't coax us. You haven't come up with a song for King Bao in the whole dating show. You don't like King Bao in the first place, what's the point of writing it now? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 258. Xia King Ai was a little nervous. After handing the guitar to Chen Shen, she felt her heart was in turmoil. This guy can't write a very touching song, right? I don't seem to have a strong resistance. What if he gets too excited? Chen Shen tried the sound of the guitar. The other instruments were average, but the guitar was familiar. After feeling that it was almost done, he looked at the camera and said with a smile, if it doesn't sound good, please don't curse me. I really got the inspiration when I got to know you, and then I held it in. As everyone knows, I really can't write songs, I can only hold it in. This song is written for you, no, not for the audience of the Love Variety Show, but for the fans of King Ai. I will sing it once. If you think it's good, let King Ai sing it for you. Anyway, it's free. There are a lot of question marks on the barrage. What a shove. Huh? Not for Xia King Ai. Written for us? Seriously? I. What are you writing for us? You wrote it for King Ai. Why do we need songs? I believe you, okay. We don't doubt what you said. Oh, so annoying. I don't want to listen to you, you bastard chanting. Has the collective charm started now? Don't listen, Chen Go must be brainwashing you. Doesn't he know who he is? Good guy, is this the scene as soon as you come? Chen Go, I thought you would restrain yourself after the show. Now you don't just fool people one by one? Start fooling millions of people? You bastard. Chen Shen didn't care about the barrage. Although he said he owed Xia King Ai many purposes, he was absolutely sincere. The core reason for him to live broadcast with Xia King Ai was to help Xia King Ai maintain her fans, and then respond to Huanyu's matter. Xia King Ai didn't make trouble with me when she sang those 3 songs. She was very sensible. I couldn't help her solve the trouble. His fingertips slid over the strings, and the unique melody of the guitar began to sound. Chen Shen moved closer, the name of this song is Virtual, just like you and us are face to face in the virtual world now. He started singing after he finished speaking. Stubborn rhyming parallelism. Stubborn and childish rhymes. Scattered and scattered to form a camp. The meaning of stubborn beauty. Stubborn and empty beauty. Floating in the air to meet you. Chen Shen's voice was as steady as ever, and the clear and bright tone was slightly suppressed to make it full of emotion. The tone of this song was consistent with what Chen Shen said to the audience in the live broadcast room. Although Xia King Ai did not do enough, you still stick with her. Even Xia King Ai herself would not pursue what Chen Shen said. Praising her fans was more useful to her than praising herself. During the main song, the barrage was very lively, and Xia King Ai's fans were still brushing "Don't listen, don't listen." Most people are quiet. It is a surprise to be able to click in and listen to the new song at this time. However, with millions of people online at the same time, a small number of people posting comments is also a terrifying amount. But with the chorus, the number of comments on the comments is getting smaller and smaller. You are the intimacy that I have never had and cannot capture. But I have your mini soul and your heart, carrying me to fly and fly and fly beyond the meaning. You are the virtual that I accompany day and night and can reach at my fingertips. Accompany me like paper and pen, like myself, like raindrops. Watching me fall and fall into the clouds. There are no lyrics, but some special meanings are also captured. It may be okay to listen to the song alone, but it is precious when combined with what Chen Shen said before. It is equivalent to telling everyone that I am not fooling around. I really understand your story and am moved to the extent that I can write a song. Is this fooling around? Is this a pie in the sky? In just a few words, the lyrics are truly written by Chen Shen from Xia King Ai's perspective. Even though I have some shortcomings, I still have your charm, your soul, and your heart, which carry me to fly beyond the so-called meaning. The virtuality that accompanies me day and night and is within reach is just like this moment. I don't know when, the barrage began to be filled with exclamation marks, mixed with some sobs. Stubborn and interesting sporadic. Stubborn and boring fun. Controlling emotions with blandness. Stubborn voices with meaning. Stubborn and empty voices. Shaking but overflowing with emotions. You are the intimacy I have never had and cannot capture. But I have your mini soul and your heart, carrying me to fly and fly and fly past the meaning. You are the virtual that accompanies me day and night and is within reach. Accompanying me like paper, like a pen, like myself, like a raindrop. Watching me fall and fall into the clouds. Sobs. It made me cry. Sisters, you have to keep this, he really feels the same way, he is not a scumbag, he is using his heart, I can hear it, sobs. It turns out it's true, it's written for us, it's so beautiful, I feel like my heart has melted, what should I do? Humph. I like King Ai and I think it's worth it, you need my affirmation, I'll let you go today, don't let me catch you in the future. Those who put question marks, are you sick, can't bear to see our King Ai do well. I haven't scolded Chen Shen, it must be you who scolded him, look, you are still calling Chen dog now. So rude. Really coaxed it? This is a fan circle. You, look at Xia King Ai, she is stunned, dog thing, you really deserve to die, you are not only going to take Xia King Ai, but also Xia King Ai's fans, you beast. Why the hell did I speak for you earlier, bitch, what do you mean? Now we are outsiders. Upon hearing that Chen Shen's song was written for his fans, Xia King Ai's first reaction was to breathe a sigh of relief. She was really afraid that Chen Shen would mess up. After getting along with each other until now, Xia King Ai was certain of one thing, that is, Chen Shen's character was 100% guaranteed. Even if he compromised in some aspect, he would definitely find a way to make up for it. In the past, Xia King Ai thought it was an advantage, and he would feel relieved to get along with such a person. If he calmed down and took a step back, even if there was no good outcome with Chen Shen, at least he wouldn't have to worry about being cheated. Now Xia King Ai thinks it is a shortcoming. It is precisely because he is such a person that his personal charm is so strong that others will stick to him, such as Su Mo. Chen Shen wrote a poem about late marriage to Su Mo, standing on from Xia King Ai's point of view. Chen Shen didn't want Su Mo to suffer and be gossiped about by people in that circle. Let alone Su Yuan, the concept of a Yuan trilogy was used to blur the fact that everyone felt that Su Yuan was deceived and pitiful. Chen Shen's rewards or contributions are not just material rewards like those old scumbags. He considers others in all aspects, and it doesn't matter even if he himself is called a scumbag by the entire internet. Xiaoqing raised his head so high that his nose felt sore for no reason, and something in his eyes seemed to be overflowing. I don't know how long he has been holding this song virtual. How can writing songs be so easy? This guy writes songs for his own fans, which breaks his heart. How could Xiaoqing I not know the value of this song? Now the whole internet is riding on the popularity of Lianzone, and he is also doing live broadcasts to take advantage of the popularity to sell albums. She originally thought that Chen Shen thought the same way and came to help her sell albums, but it turned out that he was much more exaggerated than she was, and provided a lot of emotional value to his fans in front of more than 1 million people. This kind of emotion itself is generated by expectations. The emotional value is equivalent to consolidating one's own fan base. Whose fans are treated so well now? The cards are so high? Chen Shen put down his guitar and said softly, "I've only been holding it in for the past few days. It's a bit hasty. If you are not satisfied, forget it." "Are you satisfied? Really satisfied? Haha. Then my coming here today will be valuable. Let's say a few digressions. Everyone has shortcomings, this is for sure, especially us artists. We become meaningful because of your likes. At the same time, we also hope to feed back some positive value to you. While we work hard, I want you to work hard to face life, but of course, I can't do it, you're a scumbag, ha ha ha." After some tossing, Chen Shen's words were already more lethal than before. "You're not a scumbag. Don't talk about yourself like that. You We understand that there is nothing the show can do about it. We saw it right after the show. The group has already said this, but you are not good to King II, and we are angry about this. It sounds good, it sounds really good, I'm so moved." Chen Shen has been watching the audience's barrage. Xiaoqing II is a bit arrogant, and her fans are actually a bit arrogant too, so that's up to her. Okay, I'm not used to you guys treating me like this. It's okay. It's okay to scold me. I'm her fan just like you. Ha ha ha. Do you still remember what I said? I want her to be well. It's really not a cakewalk. There are really too many aspects to take care of. I may be stupid and can't do it all at once. When Chen Shen said these words, the barrage was filled with songs. Chen Shen sighed slightly. In his previous life, he envied these idols so much. Their fans were really like family. Outsiders hate to think that these people are sabi, but these people really care about their idol. These people get along with them attentively, and the emotional value they give you back is unparalleled. When you are with them, they will think you are their god. I must be serious about what I said. Just give me some time. Let's let her get well together. Chen Shen smiled at the screen and said the final point. Isn't that the purpose of making such a big circle? He wants everyone in the fandom to envy the treatment of Xiaoqing II's fans, and then increases cohesion. Xiaoqing II next to her remained silent. Chen Shen's words of "let's let her be well together" seemed like a pair of hands scratching the depths of her soul, and then she shook unconsciously, and numbness started from her back. Goosebumps all over. Hearing a noise next to him, Chen Shen looked over and saw that Xiaoqing II had already gotten up and went to the window, and was still patting her own chest. In the live broadcast room with millions of people, Chen Shen was focused on dealing with these people. This time he really didn't pay attention to Xiaoqing II. What happened? Are you really doubting me? Huh. Who can handle this? Just wait for me and I will move the Civil Affairs Bureau here for you. It's breathtaking and terrifying. Chen Go, can you please stop in front of us when you chase girls in the future? I'm telling you, Xiaoqing II is finished, your idol is finished, and you will have to fall into Chen Go's hands for the rest of your life. Think about it for a second. I'm a man and I can't resist it. If this trick is used on me, I'll just suck it into Chen Go's mouth. Your idols are just finished. They are a bunch of vulgar men who only know about men and women, and we haven't even taken care of them yet. That's right, what happened to brother Chen Shen? Why are you so excited? You're so worried. You are so stupid, can you come over? You didn't care about us when you should, and you guarded us when you didn't care. Chen Shen reacted and smiled, but didn't stand up. The main reason was that he didn't dare to stand up. Who knows who might be watching at this time? I Xiaoqing II. It's reasonable to come here to help her coax her fans, right? I even asked for her address when she was live streaming. Chen Shen coughed twice and said seriously, since you are here, I will talk about one more thing. Changing the topic, Chen Shen stood up and slightly adjusted the angle of the camera so that even if he stood up, he could still take a picture of his face. It's like this. At about 2 o'clock, the company sent me a lawyer's letter, saying that I unilaterally violated the contract, left the Jinyi program team privately, and didn't report when I reshoot business. The senior went to the company to find me, but I didn't care. Then the boss called me, but I didn't answer it. Chen Shen roughly repeated the lawyer's letter. Many people knew it, and some didn't. The barrage began to be marked with question marks, and those who didn't know said they couldn't understand. Huanyu sent a lawyer's letter to Chen Shen? Now, is there something wrong with her brain? I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 259. Chen Shen and Xiaoqing were in a live broadcast together. After the news got out, it was not just for the audience to watch. Today is Monday, the day after the drama series finale is aired in advance, and a lot of people in the financial circle are thinking about Huanyu's stock. When the market didn't know that Chen Shen had signed Huanyu's market value was only over 1.9 billion. What did Huanyu have? In the eyes of the capital market, the first value system of entertainment companies must be people. Huanyu only has 2 or 3 people who can catch the eye of the capital market. Chase Hila is certain that he is the first echelon of ancient puppet drama directors in the circle, and then there is Yan Jiachao. Zhang Shidi can only count half of them. Yang Qingqing was originally the number 1, but it was no secret in the industry that she would not renew her contract. Then there is the production system of Huanyu. Huanyu is a veteran entertainment company with more than 10 years of experience. The production system is mature and can independently complete any project. Finally, there are channels and invisible connections. For example, several popular domestic TV stations and CCTV have followed. Huanyu has cooperated with it, and its high-quality dramas have also been broadcast on CCTV. Under this premise, the most popular person at the moment and with super liquidity ability, that is, Chen Shen signed a contract with Huanyu. Even a fool would know that the value of Huanyu is soaring. This is why the stock market opened on Monday and Huanyu's stock immediately hit the limit. As of Huanyu's lawyer's letter, the market value of Huanyu's stock had exceeded 3 billion. Then a mysterious lawyer's letter deceived everyone who was betting on Huanyu's stock. I'm so optimistic about you guys. A bunch of people are lining up to buy your stocks. You're going to build the boat yourself, right? However, even in this case, the fluctuations of the stock are not exaggerated. From the initial daily limit to the afternoon closing, it only fell back to the increase of about 6 points before the market opened. If it had reached the daily limit, it would be equivalent to a loss of only 4 points. Then it was reported that Chen Shen had appeared in Xiaoqing II's live broadcast room, and people from the financial circle swarmed in. That is to say, the gift has not been opened. If the gift has been opened, Xiaoqing II will most likely receive an exaggerated figure today. Chen Shen appeared in Xiaoqing II's live broadcast room. This information itself was a shock to those who bought Huanyu stock. Who doesn't know about the conflict between Huanyu Media and Yuan Media? If Chen Shen appeared in Xiaoqing II's live broadcast room, everyone would probably make fun of him. However, Huanyu just sent a lawyer's letter. If you do this, it is equivalent to making it clear that there is a conflict with Huan Yu. In some stock exchange groups, the moment they saw Chen Shen and Xiaoqing in the same frame, there was a burst of mourning. Most of their logic is that they believe that the upper limit of Huan Yu's stock will be closer to the market value of Yuan Media. The 100% safety line before 3.5 billion has gone wrong. However, the market has closed today, which is equivalent to putting money into an already burning fire. You can't take it out yet, and you can only watch your money burn. When Chen Shen stood up and recited the lawyer's letter, a bunch of people prayed that they would not do anything big, and they would not be able to escape. Chen Shen looked at the dense barrage, and occasionally saw one or two sentences saying that Chen Shen should take it easy, and the brothers only came in to see you. Chen Shen smiled and said, "It's really hard to say this, but everyone from me has come, and the company has also sent a so-called lawyer's letter. Let me just say something simple. You have been wondering about one thing: why did I sign Huan Yu? It's actually very simple. I am prepared to be scolded by everyone. At this time, a company suddenly comes and offers you a generous contract. If you can, just sign it." This logic seems to hold up. There are many ha 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 on the barrage. Chen Shen continued, "In response to this lawyer's letter, I only respond to one point, which is the only point where I may be wrong. That is, when I was doing business with Penguin, I did not go through the company, but there was a prerequisite. At that time my agent was fired, the project in Hongdian was also stopped, and the company refused to let me continue working. Then Director Zhao came to me anxiously and said that the show was a hit and he wanted to reshoot the business, and I was also anxious." Question marks started flying wildly on the barrage. "Chen Shen, my agent is gone and I am still allowed to rest. How should I report it? Go to the front desk of the company and call the boss. It's unrealistic. Penguin is also urging me. I can only find people I know to find a way to deal with it, isn't that right? Who do I know in the entertainment industry? Just King II. Then you will know that there was a misunderstanding on the internet some time ago that I signed with Yuan Media. At that time, I was just asking for help and could only borrow the venue of Yuan Media. Take a photo. Speaking of which, I really want to thank Mr. Shen from King II and Yuan Media for his generosity." Speaking of this, Chen Shen even patted his chest. The barrage started ha 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 ha. Some people didn't react, but those who did had a hard time holding back their laughter. They really thought Chen Shen wanted to clarify something. From the audience's perspective, what happened to the conflict between Huan Yu and Yuan? Can't we do a linkage just after the romance drama ended? This guy seemed to want to say that he was at fault, but in the end he made a U-turn and revealed everything. Huan Yu said that he broke the contract without permission and came back from Hongdian. Chen Shen said that he was suspended from work and that he could not find anyone to take the project and refused to go through the company. Chen Shen said that you have fired my agent. How can I contact him? You send a lawyer's letter, right? I went to Xiaoqing and told him face to face in the live broadcast room, and asked Kuku to praise your competitor. No, why? Do you have to push out the wealth that breaks the sky by yourself? It seems that these conflicts were all before the show was aired, so Huan Yu didn't think that Chen Go would be popular at all. I laughed so hard. I originally thought that Chen Go would skyrocket after being exposed to Lianzong, but after being exposed to Lianzong, he started to be severely beaten by the society. It's over, it's over. The conflict is real and is still intensifying. Fortunately, I didn't queue up today, otherwise I would have bought Huan Yu's stock. What a shameless thing, you can bully people even if they don't know how to be popular. Sisters, I'm a little excited, I think of King Bao from before. Let's go and charge. The bad guy will file a complaint first, right? Not to mention the suspension of work, and even the manager will be fired. Isn't this a ban? I already hate Huan Yu, do it to them. Before Chen Shen could finish speaking, the barrage began to denounce Huan Yu, almost all bearing the ID of Xiaoqing Ai, which even shocked him. Look, these fans are so cute and awesome, they don't even need to ask for confirmation, they just take whatever you say. Just as Chen Shen was about to open his mouth to continue speaking, a gust of fragrant wind hit him, and a hand as white as jade covered Chen Shen's mouth. Xiaoqing whispered, "Take it easy." Chen Shen broke away, "I apologize, okay." Xiaoqing Ai then sat back on the chair next to him. The barrage started again, ha 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 ha. Don't be so defensive about me. I really apologize. Didn't I say that I did take the project privately? Just apologize. It must be my fault that the reshooting business did not go through the company's process. I would like to solemnly apologize to the company. Chen Shen said seriously. However, the next second, Chen Shen immediately said, "That's almost it? I've said everything that needs to be said. Finally, let's help Qingyi sell the album. Brothers, The Wind Rises sounds great. This album can be released. It's not easy. Half of my brother's life was almost lost. People who like to listen to music help and support me." Xiaoqing Ai glared immediately, not that she was touched by this behavior, but because she realized that this was a shitty apology. He made it clear that he was wrong, but he still dared to do so. How can anyone help Xiaoqing Ai sell albums while apologizing? Huan Yu was so angry that he vomited blood when he saw it. Xiaoqing sighed, "Forget it, let it go." She was afraid that Chen Shen would be offended too much. A skinny camel was bigger than a horse. Huan Yu's group of people still had some weight in the circle, after all, they had accumulated more than 10 years of experience. "Okay, I've said everything I need to say. I have to go. Remember to buy the album, haha." Chen Shen said goodbye to the barrage. Many people blocked the barrage and refused to leave, but Chen Shen had already stood up. Xiaoqing Ai followed suit and sent Chen Shen out. In the entrance hall, Chen Shen started to change his shoes. As soon as he stood up after changing his shoes, he was hugged from behind by the soft body. Chen Shen lowered his head and saw the hands wrapped around his belly, and stretched out his hands to put them on top. "Do you and Su Mo get along like this?" Xiaoqing Ai's voice sounded. Chen Shen squeezed those soft hands and said, "Don't think blindly." Xiaoqing's arms wrapped around her harder and harder, "Mine." Chen Shen is not a person who knows how to use perfume, but Xiaoqing Ai thinks he smells good. How could there be such a thing, that he would come over here, treat you badly, and then run away? Some things are just a matter of pretending to be confused. No one in the love drama has ever had an affair with him. Under the love drama, Sumo's involvement with him became deeper and deeper. Even if Sumian doesn't remind him, Xiaoqing Ai now feels that Su Mo is indeed the strongest. She seems to be a storm as soon as she takes action, and her career is directly tied up. This attitude puts too much pressure on Xiaoqing Ai. But Chen Shen still dared to come to his home blatantly, which meant that his relationship with Su Mo had not broken through, and was still ambiguous at best. Thinking from his perspective, if Chen Shen's relationship breaks through with him and he goes to see Su Mo like this, he will definitely be angry. Only if the relationship doesn't break through can he feel confident. Chen Shen squeezed Xiaoqing Ai's hand, slowly let her go, and then turned around to face her. Xiaoqing raised her head and looked at him, her bright eyes full of aggression, and her delicate facial features seemed to have turned into the most beautiful flower in the world. Chen Shen sighed softly, then stretched out his arms to hug Xiaoqing Ai from the front. Xiaoqing pouted at first, and her heart softened immediately after sticking it, and then she stretched out her arms to wrap around Chen Shen. Chen Shen didn't speak, but she could understand. What should I say at this time? I'm afraid only real scumbags make random promises and fool people, right? Chen Shen seemed to have never had the impression of a scumbag in Xiaoqing's eyes. In fact, it is difficult to resist, both for Chen Shen and Xiaoqing Ai. Xiaoqing Ai's posture showed no defense at all, and the soft body fragrance kept getting into Chen Shen's nose. Another person would definitely express his position at this moment, but Chen Shen just shut up. Xiaoqing had a lot of words in her heart, and she almost came out of her mouth with words like "come to me if you want me," but you can't say these words. If you say it, you will bow your head to Su Mo. Why, you can't compete on the surface, are you willing to be sneaky? A bunch of words came to my lips and turned into those two words. Mine. Chen Shen sighed, yours. Xiaoqing started to twist, then raised her head to look at Chen Shen's face, and began to step on her feet. Although her face became more and more rosy, her movements were very slow, as if she wanted to carefully feel this moment. Slowly touching and slowly separating, Chen Shen felt as if his lower lip was being pursed. Then there was a stinging pain in his waist. Chen Shen leaned back and inhaled sharply. He rubbed his waist and said, "Pinch again." "You're sick." Xiaoqing Ai chuckled, "I'm very dissatisfied with your sigh." Chen Shen rolled his eyes and stretched out his hand to open the door, but his other hand was held by Xiaoqing Ai. When he turned around, the almost flawless face came close to him again, touching it several times like a chicken pecking at rice. Then we separated. Xiaoqing Ai's cheeks were red, but he put his hands on his high. "I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me?" Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 260. When Chen Shen explained the situation, many stock groups exploded. It's over, it's over. Although I didn't say I was leaving, I feel that Chen Shen won't be able to stay in Huanyu any longer. Do you think what Chen Shen said is true? It's almost the same. You know, when Chen Shen was in love with a woman, he dared to act like a scumbag openly on camera. He doesn't need to make up all this nonsense. Is Zhao Jingquan a bad actor? He signed the contract and then suppressed it? I asked a friend in the entertainment industry, and he said that he knew about this a long time ago. Chen Shen was indeed called back by Huanyu in Hongdian. At that time, Chen Shen had a conflict with Jinyi's second male lead, Urabin. Chen Shen. When I returned home, Urahama posted a weird message on her WeChat Moments. "Hey, if you ask me, you should keep your composure. These traditional companies are almost like this. Each one is very arrogant and cannot tolerate newcomers. If you are looking for a company now, there will be a lot of people begging for a signature. Gee, brothers, I am really happy to buy this morning, but I have already lost nearly 5 points. It's okay. It's a bit early to feel sad. It will drop to the limit tomorrow." Chen Shen and Xiaoqing Ai's live broadcast ended, and a bunch of anchors immediately started broadcasting. Some people started broadcasting directly in Hongdian, and there were several extras sitting next to them. They said they had met Chen Shen's extras some time ago, and Chen Shen even treated them to a box lunch. Some people are artists in the entertainment industry. It is difficult to get involved in the industry and become a Douyin anchor selling boneless chicken feet. He directly changed the title to talk about Chen Shen and Huanyu in the eyes of insiders. Some people are nothing, but they run to the door of Huanyu to live broadcast, and the camera is pointed at the door of Huanyu, and the broadcast is broadcast. Millions of live broadcast fans, if you come here for 3 melons and 2 dates, then you can take off directly. The most miserable thing is the group of gossip fans. They want to hear everything and watch it in a bunch of live broadcast rooms. January 4th, the next day. As soon as Chen Shen opened his eyes, he sat up from the bed, washed himself and jumped rope immediately. The data of 3,500 was sent to Su Mo steadily. 10 minutes later, Su Mo also sent back her own data of 3,500. Chen Shen frowned. Did he really pretend that nothing happened? Yesterday, he went out from Xiaoqing's family. When he was in the car, he took a look at Xiaoqing I's live broadcast on his mobile phone. Later, Xiaoqing I broadcasted for a while. There were a bunch of people on the barrage leading the rhythm, talking about Xiaoqing's family in a weird way. It's so big. It takes more than 10 minutes to send a guest out. Isn't this the kind of big house that's over 1,000 square meters? However, the return was uneventful. During dinner, Chen Shen took photos and showed them to Su Mo. Su Mo also sent a coquettish emoji, saying that Chen Shen seduced her. She even took the initiative to explain to herself when she worked overtime, saying that all the people she felt relieved were assigned abroad, and she had to look after the Sichuan and Chongqing areas. She was a little busy, and she also reported good news, saying that Qin Fangyu's performance was getting better day by day, and she lined up at noon. Chen Shen felt that he could understand, so he went to sleep afterwards. Sister Mo, have you eaten? I ordered breakfast, why don't you come over to eat? Chen Shen sent another message to Su Mo. Soon Su Mo got back the news. I went to the company to eat, and a large part of the traffic was converted to Qin Fangyu. The renovation of new stores in Sichuan and Chongqing areas is also continuing. I will be very busy during this period. I will eat with you when I have a break. Chen Shen scratched his head, do you really not mind? Even if you minded, it should dissipate after you sleep, right? I went there in front of more than 1 million people, how upright and above board. Chen Shen nodded. He felt that Sister Mo was not the kind of narrow-minded person. The people born in our world must be different from ordinary people. I love her so much. On Weibo, Chen Shen started to trend again. He and Xiaoqing were broadcasting a hot search term, and Huan Yu's falling out with Chen Shen was another hot search term. Around 10 o'clock, another hot search appeared on the hot search list, and Huan Yu's market value evaporated by 300 million. Just as those stock groups were worried about yesterday, a bunch of people lined up to sell Huan Yu's stock before the market opened, and it fell to the limit less than 10 minutes after the market opened. A drop of about 10 points, for Huan Yu, which already had a market value of more than 3 billion, really means that 300 million has been lost in one day. What the hell, yesterday a bunch of people in the group said they would bet on not cutting off their flesh, but they ended up running faster than anyone else. I'm just saying you are pretending to be strong. It's not a question of whether Huan Yu should give up on Chen Shen or not. It's Chen Shen who has taken the initiative to break up with Huan Yu. That guy is full of bad intentions and even has dealings with Su Mo. You guys, do you think Chen Shen will be manipulated by Huan Yu? It's really crazy. Has anyone cashed out the joy during this time? Definitely, if they dare to take action first. Zhao Jinkin's apparent shareholding is only 8%. Counting his investment company in Yanjing's shareholding in Huan Yu, the total is only 8%. 17. I don't know how many I got out. I don't dare to gamble, cutting my flesh hurts, and even a dog wouldn't buy stocks in the entertainment industry. The discussion in the stock group is in full swing. The problem now is that you can't escape even if you want to. No one takes the order. There are a lot of people selling on the market. There are only 3 melons and 2 dates to buy, so it doesn't matter. The next day, Wednesday, this time it was much better than yesterday, and it took 2 hours to reach the limit. It's not that it's strong or that someone comes in to take over the offer, it's that some people have seen through it and simply don't put it up for sale. It can't be sold anyway, so they can only hold it in their hands. Who can bear it if it drops to the limit immediately after you put it up? On the third day, Thursday, more people saw through this day and gave up. The price did not fall by the limit until the afternoon, and it only fell by about 6 points throughout the day. However, in 3 days, it fell by 26 points. It is equivalent to 1 million in, and now there is only 740,000 left, and the total market value has fallen from about 3.1 billion to 2.4 billion. Watching the high building, watching the building collapse. A bunch of people analyzed, almost no one came to the conclusion that Huanyu had the intention to save the market. Their own market value is just over 1.9 billion, and there are still 2.4 billion after such a big drop. They are not in a hurry at all, as if they originally wanted to trap some people in it. However, those who are trapped in it are trying to save themselves, but some people don't want Huanyu to be well. On Friday, less than half an hour after the market opened, it fell to the limit again. Don't sell, right? Su Mo started to sell. Chen Shen doesn't care about the ups and downs of the stock market. Su Mo is enough to reassure him. What they want is to pull Huanyu's stock price down in a big arc, and then control it to a stable amount of buying. Even if those who don't want to cut their losses can wait for 10 days or 8 days, what about a month? Huanyu washed out and was taken over by itself. Most of the original shareholders who saw Huanyu surge and cashed out took over the short term. They couldn't afford to waste time. It was cruel, but there was nothing they could do. The ups and downs on the internet did not affect Chen Shen. Most of the people who entered Huanyu in such a short time were speculators. Many of them died in the hands of these people. It was not Chen Shen's turn to feel sorry for them. Money is money in anyone's hands, why not in his own hands? But the ups and downs of reality always come unexpectedly. My sister is back, and at this moment she is standing in front of me with her hands on her hips. You're not quiet even when I let you play, right? You're live streaming with Xiaoqing II, and you're not afraid of getting your mouth rotten even when you cover your mouth. Do you know how hard President Su has been working during this period? Both Sichuan and Chongqing are in charge. There are 86 new stores in Sichuan and Chongqing. I called her at 10:30 p.m., and she was still working overtime. What about you? You're flirting with Xiaoqing II in front of more than 1 million people, and you're still worried about her fans. Who are you? What do her fans have to do with you? Do you have 6 hands or 8 legs? You know, I blush when I talk to President Su now. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 261. In the office, Chen Shen was sitting very upright. When Chen Qinyu stopped talking, Chen Shen tugged at the corner of Chen Qinyu's coat. Chen Qinyu was standing and condescending. When she saw her brother's pitiful look, her heart felt a little soft, but she still pretended to pinch Chen Shen's ears. No, next time. Chen Shen chuckled, he enjoyed this kind of intimacy. My younger brother has grown up. If he had taught him this way when he was a child, he would have been angry with me. Now when he talks to him, he won't refute at all. The less he refutes, the less he can do. Mr. Su also has a little girl in his heart. If you spend more time with her, you can still provide the emotional value of being cared about, protected and relied on. In the field of investment, the aura of Mr. Su is not as good as that of Xiaoqing II in the entertainment industry, Bad Chen Qinyu said softly. Oh, I see. Chen Shen made no excuses. There were some things that could give outsiders a reason, such as the fact that he had to pay back the debt he created to Xiaoqing II, but there was no need to tell his sister. Relatives are greater than lovers in some dimensions. You. Be careful in the future. Chen Qinyu reached out and tapped Chen Shen hard on the forehead. Chen Shen felt that there was really no need to explain. Bringing such ambiguity to Sister Mo would only make her feel more sorry for Sister Mo and treat her better, which was also good. Chen Shen seemed to understand a little bit. If Sister Mo didn't care, it might be because her family gave her enough security. Is it a bad thing? Chen Shen felt it was hard to say. After coming out of his sister's office, Chen Shen breathed a sigh of relief. Currently, his sister is relatively soft-spoken. Although it was wrong, I will dare to do it next time. Just as he was about to return to his office, the young lady at the front desk came over with Zhao Chunsheng. Chen Shen looked at the time. It was really on time, about 2 o'clock. It was 2 o'clock. He made an appointment with Zhao Chunsheng the day before yesterday. He was enjoying life on vacation in Hainan and said he would come to see him on Friday. This was why Chen Shen was working in the company today, and he met his sister who had just returned. In the office, reception area, Chen Shen made Zhao Chunsheng a cup of tea. Zhao Chunsheng smiled and said, "I'm really not used to you being so polite." Chen Shen took the opportunity to sit across from him and said directly, "Director Zhao, do we have a good relationship?" Zhao Chunsheng's hand holding the tea immediately retracted, his expression wary. "Drink, the show is over, and you still misunderstand me? Aren't all my actions for the good of the show?" Zhao Chunsheng smiled, then picked up the teacup on the coffee table, and then blew slowly. "Don't get me wrong, it's a bit of an instinctive reaction. Our relationship must be good. You are my noble person. Without you, how could I possibly fight such a beautiful turnaround?" Chen Shen had a smile on his face. "That's good." Zhao Chunsheng felt relieved. He felt that he might be a little sensitive. Chen Shen is indeed his noble man, and the appointment to meet today is also about the script. There can't be any messy operations. I received news that the people from Penguin will come over tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. You can have a good chat then, Zhao Chunsheng reminded him proactively. Chen Shen and Huan Yu obviously had a falling out, which is now a hot topic in the entire entertainment industry. Zhao Chunsheng is always paying attention to it even when he is traveling and vacationing. He also felt that Chen Shen's departure from Huan Yu was a foregone conclusion. When outsiders discuss this matter, Chen Shen has two goals for where to go, one is Penguin and the other is Yuan. Needless to say, the former is Xiaoqing Ai, and the latter has Xiaoqing Ai, who was live broadcasting together a few days ago. No one can say for sure. Zhao Chunsheng felt that Chen Shen must go to Penguin. This guy didn't dare to go to Yuan at all. Why? He knew that the houses Sumian and he bought were adjacent to each other. He felt that his defense against Chen Shen might be based on this. Even if all Chen Shen's actions were good for the show, there was still something wrong underneath your show. Director Zhao, do you think there's anything wrong with that script? Of course, although I'm resting, my brain is not resting. I've been thinking about this project. My transition from being an actor to a variety show was a turnaround. Now that I'm back, it's another turnaround. And now I have accumulated a lot of experience. There is no need to be as stretched as before. Speaking of this, Zhao Chunsheng was a little excited. After a few days of rest and recharging, it's time to start again. Cross-border variety shows have directly become the #1 variety show in the eyes of many people. If he is allowed to continue doing variety shows, he has no confidence. People like Chen Shen are not always available. It just so happened that Chen Shen gave himself another good script. With his current network of contacts, he could shoot the live puppet drama that he was good at before. As long as the script didn't collapse, Zhao Chunsheng felt that it was a dimensionality reduction blow. Director Zhao, how do you think you can cooperate with this book? Zhao Chunsheng came back to his senses from some wild thoughts. While the Penguin people come to Yizhou, let's have a good talk with them. Chen Shen smiled and shook his head. Zhao Chunsheng frowned. What do you mean? Chen Shen leaned forward. I think we can find Huan Yu to cooperate. Zhao Chunsheng stared, his thoughts suddenly stuck. Think about it, is Huan Yu really not in a hurry now? Today the stock has dropped to the limit again. They just have no better way. If you go to them with a good book at this time, how will they treat you? Chen Shen said again. Zhao Chunsheng's thinking was still stuck, but he could follow what Chen Shen said. I must be treated as a guest. In order to stabilize the stock price, they will probably give me whatever I want. Chen Shen clapped his hands. Yes, that's what it means. You. Chen Shen laughed. He knew that this matter was difficult to understand from Zhao Chunzhen's point of view. He and Huan Yu had already broken up, and then he found a way to help them stabilize the stock price. Isn't this sick? Chen Shen is definitely not sick. How can Huan Yu's stock price be so easy to stabilize? Today's entertainment companies are similar to internet celebrity companies. They only recognize the most powerful person. What does Chen Shen want to do? He wants to be happy, not to die happy. Winning the joy cannot be achieved in a day or two, so why not wait for this period of time? How can it be? What he wants is to let the current joy work for him and use their money to support his own projects. Penguin is indeed a big business, but when it comes to film and television content production, they are really not the first choice. They are a platform. Even if they invest in most cases, they only give money. However, Huan Yu is different. Want money? At this juncture, they must yes, if you need channels or resources. They also have them. They just lack good projects. If you have good projects, you can send them to CCTV. If you want people, I will give you a bunch of choices. Isn't Yang Qingqing happy now? I thought about it, and it's very suitable for our project. If you can use the script to stabilize Yang Qingqing at this time and ask her to postpone the contract even if she doesn't renew it, Zhao Jingquan will give you a kiss when he sees you, Chen Shen said and said goodbye to Zhao Chunsheng. Count the benefits on your fingers. Zhao Chunsheng began to wave his hands. Wait, I can't understand, why? Huan Yu is indeed a giant in film and television production, but why? Aren't you about to leave? Chen Shen smiled and said, I'll do my thing, and you can just take pictures of yours. I just think that we have a good relationship and can show you the way. The most suitable person to cooperate with you now is Huan Yu. As long as you don't ask Zhao Jingquan to call you dad, they must have no brains to support you with such a request now. Of course, just don't say the script is mine. Just sign it as the screenwriter of Zhao Chunzhen's team. When the time comes, ask them for more screenwriting fees, and then just keep it for me. Zhao Chunzhen began to scratch his head, thinking purely objectively, the joy at the moment was indeed the most suitable. I am famous now because of variety shows, not idol dramas. Even if you work with other people, even if they value you, it is far from the level of joy. Will Penguin object? They are a platform, as long as you broadcast it wherever they are, they don't have to invest money and take risks, so there's nothing to disagree with. But Zhao Chunsheng didn't believe that Chen Shen would be so kind and selfless. It didn't mean that Chen Shen would cheat him, but he felt that Chen Shen would definitely not be so kind to Huan Yu. It was Zhou Gaikan who finally reconciled with Chen Shen. Director Zhao, don't think about complicated things like human beings. Just remember one thing, I will definitely not cheat you. We have a revolutionary friendship, Chen Shen said again. To put it another step back, I will cooperate. You did it once, now you have to cooperate with me, right? When the word cooperate came out, Zhao Chunsheng was not so entangled. Are you really going? I really want to go. It's all good. Why not go? Zhao Chunsheng thought carefully and finally nodded. Okay, I'll contact Huan Yu later. Although I don't know what medicine you sell in your gourd, you must have a backup plan. Just like you said, I believe it you. Chen Shen stood up and gave Zhao Chunsheng a hug. Even if Chen Shen asked him to cooperate, Zhao Chunsheng could not imagine what Chen Shen was going to do. Forced acquisition of joy from the capital market. Saying this will make people laugh out loud, it's just a matter of joy, right? Even if you acquire it, what next? He is the founder of this company, and even though he has been a veteran in the industry for more than 10 years, he cannot save himself. He has been in decline. Why do you spend a lot of money to buy this thing? Are you sick? Zhao Chunsheng didn't know what Chen Shen wanted to do. He felt that Chen Shen would not harm him. Like Zhou Gaikan, even Zhou Gaikan took care of him in the end of Lianzhong. Most of the show's success was due to him. Even if it's a trap this time, Zhao Chunsheng can accept it. The script belongs to others, and resources and money can be obtained from Huan Yu. It's just a waste of his own time. If he is cheated, he will treat it as a reward for Chen Shen. The friendship between gentlemen inherently emphasizes coming and going. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 262. In the evening, in Zhou Gaikan's office in Huanyu building, Zhou Gaikan was leaning on his office chair and looking out the window in a daze. He hasn't been having a good time lately. Over the past week, Huanyu's stock has plummeted. As the company's public relations officer, there is nothing you can do. Now that the company wants to give up on Chen Shen, we can't tie Chen Shen to the company ourselves, right? Zhou Gaikan felt that Chen Shen would not stay in such a company. In the past, Zhou Gaikan's thoughts were on women and brothers. After being hit by the love drama, he felt that he should focus on work, but now he is also hit on work. In the past few days, Zhou Gaikan has been watching the sunset like this, feeling that life always seems so unsatisfactory. This life is so hard. When Zhou Gaikan now thinks about Chen Shen, he seems to have forgotten all the bad things Chen Shen did to him. Compared with his long life experience, the bad things Chen Shen did to him seem so insignificant. On the contrary, I feel that Lianzhong has become interesting. As Chen Shen said, how much joy he has brought to others. This thing is not good looking, but it is still valuable. He doesn't care if Chen Shen is scolded. Zhou Gaikan didn't even see the value of other things, and his work seemed to have become boring. Zhou Gaikan looked at the time and said, there's still half an hour until get off work. It's so hard. At this moment, the phone on the desk rang. Zhou Gaikan reached out and picked it up. Hello. Zhao Ziazai's voice sounded, Xiaozhou, I have something that may trouble you. Zhou Gaikan responded, Dr. Zhao, please tell me. Aren't you familiar with Chen Shen? We made an appointment tomorrow night and said that the people from Penguin are here and want to chat with us. Zhou Gaikan glared, a date with Chen Shen. Yes, the people from Penguin called me. There are some things that I want to discuss in person, so let's talk in person. Zhou Gaikan seemed to have something wrong. With Zhao Ziazai's petty mind, how could he calmly tell him to invite Chen Shen? He is the one who is most angry these days. Everyone is afraid of Huanyu that the stock will continue to fall. It is no problem to remove the bubble, but can it be stabilized? Director Zhao, is something good going on? Zhou Gaikan asked. Zhou Gaikan and Zhao Ziazai got along well during this period. Maybe he didn't want to hide it from anyone. Zhao Ziazai smiled directly and said, You kid, you can hear it? Is it so obvious? Zhou Gaikan, what's going on? It's a good thing, Zhao Chunsheng is here and comes to our company. He brought the script to us for cooperation. On the other side, Chen Shen and Su Mo finally had dinner together. In the dining room of the suite, perhaps because they hadn't eaten together for a long time, the two of them had a tacit understanding and were more formal, and even opened a bottle of red wine. Under the warm-toned light, Su Mo, who had changed into a home coat, had a much more restrained temperament as a strong woman, with a slight smile on her face, giving her a ladylike feeling. I don't know if it was an illusion, but when Chen Shen looked at Su Mo, he felt that Su Mo was getting more and more beautiful. This feeling was very strong. The two of them ate steak, sat next to each other, and chatted about interesting things about the company. For example, someone found the expelled agent that Chen Shen mentioned, that is, Zhang Ying, who is now a new batch of store managers who are about to open. Someone wanted Zhang Ying to appear on the scene to talk about the conflict between Chen Shen and Huan Yu, but Zhang Ying didn't agree. Yesterday I met Su Mo and asked her. She said she was afraid of delaying Chen Shen's affairs. She felt that she and Chen Shen would never be on the same page, and she was afraid of doing bad things with good intentions. There are also Qin Fangyu's employees. When they knew that Qin Fangyu was named after an employee, Su Mo could feel the inward force. They were very busy, but very energetic. In the past, Su Mo would not find these things interesting and could only say they were good things. However, now she will keep them in mind and talk about these things when she gets along with Chen Shen. Chen Shen answered with a smile, "That's not because of your good management or structural design." Su Mo raised his glass and touched it with Chen Shen, took a small sip and said, "You have to praise me, right? Everything I said is related to you." Chen Shen also put down his wine glass. "Sister Mo, have you ever considered the value of life other than career?" Su Mo glared at Chen Shen. She thought Chen Shen was going to talk about a series of topics such as love, family, etc. The catering industry is actually very flexible. I'm afraid that what you do is too boring. You can also add some added value. For example, all catering industries envy Qin Fangyu's treatment. Chen Shen mentioned it and Su Mo understood. However, Su Mo was thinking about selling points, not a sense of accomplishment. Chen Shen's meaning is very simple. In addition to the selling point of affordability, Qin Fangyu can also add another selling point, corporate culture. Chen Shen also knew that Su Mo was 100% wrong, so he added, "Stop your career thinking. What I'm talking about is pure social value. In fact, it doesn't necessarily have to be how much money you make." Su Mo was stunned. In fact, when a career reaches a certain scale, the so-called social value will be considered. Su Mo has also considered it, but she thinks it is too early. These must be considered after at least 35 years old. Before 35 years old, she only thinks about how to realize her own value. Seeing Su Mo thinking, Chen Shen smiled and said, "There is no need to be so serious. I just said it casually, mainly because I am afraid that you will be bored because of the hard work. In fact, everyone knows the value of Su Mo, but the value Su Mo has given to society no one knows the value yet. If you feel bored one day, you can try this direction. A viable company does not necessarily have to be competitive." Su Mijin fell into thinking. Chen Shen has an absolutely objective mindset. Vitality is very mysterious for an enterprise. Was Alibaba very competitive in the previous life? It was very competitive, but it would eventually go downhill. How did PDD rise? Customers are king. The official will not choose to cheat customers even if it cheats merchants. This is PDD's philosophy. This analogy may not be able to reflect the 4 words of social value, but there is still a company, Pang Donglei. It is precisely because of these examples that Chen Shen has an objective enough mindset and he does not attach so much importance to money that he affirms Su Mo and encourages her not to only focus on career. Life is long, but also short. The sense of achievement is rich and the happiness of experience is rich. After a long time, Su Mo came back to her senses and looked at Chen Shen with a little light in her eyes. It is not that Chen Shen is better than Su Mo, but Su Mo has always been doing one thing, which is to realize her self-worth. She is not short of money. Chen Shen told her this, which is equivalent to saying that we can take another big step forward. These words are not just casual talk, they are related to Qin Fangyu's actual interests. Choosing social value will weaken the interests. Social value is not the so-called industry mode, but the social responsibility of entrepreneurs. Seeing Su Mo's eyes were a little hot, Chen Shen smiled and said, "Don't think of me too great, I'm just afraid that you will be bored." "I know." Su Mo pulled the chair closer, and then propped up her chin and looked at Chen Shen. Chen Shen didn't run the business himself, so why did he manage the development direction of the company? So Su Mo believed that he was looking for a sense of accomplishment for himself. Su Mo yearned for this kind of relationship, where you can chat casually in life, and support each other in career and give each other inspiration. The person who can be clear whether it is emotional or rational. I don't know whether I should say something after looking at it for a long time. Su Mo finally said a word. What can't be said, just say it. Su Mo laughed twice before saying, Xiaoqing I is not worthy of you. Cough. Chen Shen choked. Su Mo smiled glamorously, her home clothes were a little loose, and even the heavy clothes had a little arc trembling. How could my sister not care? She just felt that she was no match. The subtext of this sentence was, do you really want to compare me and Xiaoqing I? Chen Shen took the tissue handed over by Su Mo. What are you laughing at? I went to disturb Huanyu's site and make them think that the funds in Huanyu's stock market belong to Yuan Media. Su Mo said softly, I didn't say you shouldn't go. Chen Shen choked, but fortunately his phone rang. Chen Shen immediately took out his phone, and Zhou Gaikan sent a text message. Chen Shen. Something big happened. Zhao Chunsheng found our company to cooperate, and he also brought a script. This old guy wants to take advantage of the fire to rob you and dig out your back door.